across the first half of the year. Wow, God is good. God is good. And thank you all for joining us again for our podcast episode. And I'm so grateful to see all of you. And thank you for being loyal listeners and also viewers of this podcast. And I just want to welcome all of you to Transformations Talk. I'm Dr. EUGENIA CATERNOR, and I'm going to be your host and your speaker for today's episode. As we all know, Transformations Talk is a platform to educate, to empower, to inspire, to uplift, and promote change within our communities. It's a time or a place to share ideas, our knowledge, our experiences, and our insights on different topics pertaining to life. We invite people here with us to talk to us about different things that they do. And today we have a special topic that the Lord has laid on my heart to share with everybody, including myself. Okay. If you haven't had a chance to watch previous episode, please visit my website, www.dreugeniacatenor.net, to catch up with all the previous episodes. And please also share the information with friends and family, because you never know who this message will help or will transform. So please share with people on your platform, share with people that you know, and just share the word, because it's all information that other people can use. Okay. You can also follow us on YouTube, Dr. EUGENIA CATERNOR, and also subscribe, so we will update you on upcoming events and also let you know if anything is happening. We will share with you all. Again, you can reach us on Facebook, Dr. EUGENIA CATERNOR, Instagram, Dr. EUGENIA CATERNOR, or you can email us, dreugeniacatenor@gmail.com. There's also a phone number, 443-623-6080. If you need to reach me, you can always send me a text message, which works best. So if I'm busy, I can always reach out to you later when I have a chance. You can do regular text messages, or you can do WhatsApp. I will get your message. Okay. And again, I also want to congratulate some of our students that have graduated over the summer. And I pray that whatever the next chapter is in your life, everything will be ordered according to God's plans and purposes for your life. And all of you that have been watching us, thank you for the feedbacks. Thank you for the information that you're sharing with me on the progress that you're making, and also how it's impacting your life and the people around you. It's the purpose of what I'm doing, to be able to share information and the wisdom that the Lord has given me with you, so we can all learn something from it and make life better for all of us. So don't feel like we're just here to listen to some information. We're here to learn. And if for some reason you're not able to join us, please always go back to the website, or just go to YouTube and catch up on all the ones that you've missed. And I pray that whatever we're here to learn today, the Lord is going to use you and also turn this message to what he wants you to hear and how he wants to use it to make a difference in your life. Okay. So today we have a topic, is how do we handle inconsistencies in progress? Well, we are all making progress. We are all going somewhere. We are all making something new. We are making the efforts to make new things, to grow. We have goals, we have ambitions, we have visions. And as we already know, half of the year has passed. I have no clue where it went, but it's gone. And we're already in the 7th month. And if every resolution that you had in January are still sitting there, then it's time to go back and pick it up. If you have met at least 50% of those New Year resolutions, you're on the right track. If you need to speed up, this is a good time. So today's topic is going to wake you up, it's going to lift you up, it's going to motivate you and get you back on track, because I want to make sure that we are all making progress before the end of 2025. Okay, so today we're talking about how to handle inconsistency in progress. So first of all, what is inconsistency, or what does it mean if we are inconsistent in our progress? As I mentioned, we are all trying to get better. We are all trying to do something for ourselves. So once we stay consistent, then we will see progress. Progress. But sometimes along the way, along the line somewhere, we become to slow down. What happened? What changed? What do we do different? That's what we're going to talk about today. So inconsistency in progress, basically it just means making irregular or unreliable steps towards a goal. So you have a goal, you have set a goal for yourself. You know what you want to do, you know where you want to go. But we start off well and then we slow down. So yes, we start making progress. We take one step forward, we take two steps back. We take 5 steps forward, we take 10 steps back. What's going to happen? We're never going to get to our goal. We're never going to make it to our destination. So today we're going to dive into ways to prevent those things from happening. That way we can see our goals come into fruition. Okay, this happens a lot. I'm not an exempt. There are things that I said I'm going to do. I start well, I have the energy, and all of a sudden something comes in the way, and all of a sudden things are slowing down. Oh, I'm going to get back to it next week. I'm going to get back to it next month. And I realize we are in the new year. So I know you have the same issues as well. Okay. So what we need is the motivation. What we need is the ability to identify that there is a problem, and then we can know what to do. Okay. So it happens when the effort of focus or discipline is not sustained over time, and it results in unpredictable or delayed outcome. Okay. And there are some common signs of inconsistent progress. And we may or we may not identify those signs. Or sometimes somebody have to tell us, oh, you remember you started doing this. What happened to you? Or you were doing so well, all of a sudden, now things have changed. So some of the signs that we know that our progress is inconsistent is when we start strong, but stopping midway. So maybe beginning of the year, we start going to the gym because we want to lose weight. We have a target that we want to meet, and all of a sudden, February comes, March comes. Well, I'm too tired today. I'll wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow comes, no, it's too cold today. And the next day comes, oh, it's too hot. The next day comes, is rainy. And time you realize 1 week have come, you haven't been to the gym. The time you realize 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. All of a sudden, is 6 months and you haven't been to the gym. That is a common sign of inconsistent progress. Okay. So we start strong, but we stop midway. Okay. The other way is skipping days or weeks or seasons of an effort. Okay. So we say, okay, we're going to start saving maybe $50 every paycheck, okay, towards a goal. Maybe because we want to buy a house. So we want to make sure that we have enough money for down payment. So with every paycheck, we put $50 down. Okay, now the next paycheck came, you know what? I have a lot of bills to pay, or, I need to, do this, or I need to go here. And then we skip that paycheck, that $50. The next paycheck comes, oh, well, the kids need this for school. I need new clothing. There's a party coming up. I need to go and buy an outfit. Then we skip the next one. And at time we realize 3 months, 6 months, we haven't been able to contribute the $50 every paycheck. So what happens? That progress stops. A year has come, we're ready to buy our house, and we have nothing in our savings. Okay. The next sign is frequently changing goals, methods, or priorities. So yes, I'm going to school to learn maybe how to I don't know, anything. Let's see. Okay, maybe let's talk about nursing. Okay, we want to go to school to be a nurse. So we start off nicely. We took a class first semester, second semester. Well, you know what? I don't even know if nursing is for me. Maybe I want to try an IT because my friend is doing IT and I heard they can make a lot of money. So then that goal is gone down the drain. Now you've changed to IT. I start doing the IT stuff. And then, you know what, maybe I just need to go into catering because I love to cook and, my food tastes so good. So let me go into cooking. Okay. So now you stop the IT, you go into cooking. So every so often we're changing what we want to do. We are changing from one goal to the next goal. We're changing how we're doing this to that. Our priorities have changed. Oh no, I was gonna get in a house, but no, it's okay. Now stay in apartments because I don't have to worry about maintenance. And I realize 2, 3 years have passed. Oh wow, if I have bought that house right now, I will be doing much better. Okay, so that is when our frequency and the goals and the priorities changes. Okay. Also, emotional highs of motivation followed by long period of inactivity. So when the energy comes, I'm on it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. All of a sudden, then there's motivations going down. Now we don't want to do it again, or we start coming up with excuses. That's also a common sign of inconsistent progress. So we have a plan. We know what to do. We know how to get there, but we're just not consistent enough to make it there. Okay, so that's how inconsistency can cause problems down the line for us. Okay, um, also, if somebody want to define inconsistency in progress, is the gap between intention and discipline action. Okay, so the intention is there, the desire is there, the will to do it is there, but the discipline is not there. So if it's even your prayer life, like we join a prayer line 5 o'clock every morning. So if you know you have to wake up to join the prayer line at 5 or at 6, all you need to do is maybe sleep an hour early or wake up when alarm goes off. But you start doing it, and then one day be like, you know what, this prayer line cry today, I can skip it. You turn around, turn the alarm off, go back to sleep, watch it. The next day, you know what, the sleep felt so good yesterday, and I felt well rested when I woke up. So maybe I don't need to join today. And then slowly, slowly, 3, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, you haven't joined the prayer line. Okay, that is discipline in action. Okay, the intention is there, but the discipline is the one that we're missing. Yeah, so again, I've came with some examples. So let's the health issue. Okay, we know we have to eat healthy. We know we have to be on a healthy diet, and we're doing well. So January, February, March, or again, sometimes when the doctor tells you, oh, you're pre-diabetic, or now your cholesterol is high, or your blood pressure is high, okay, you need to eat healthy. So we start off more vegetables, more fruits, more water. And then slowly we realize that, okay, the vegetables intake is going down. Now we are substituting water for something else. And slowly, slowly, we went back to where we used to be until the next time you go to the doctors. And what happened? Well, I was doing so well, but I don't know what happened. That's inconsistent in progress. So we have good intention, we know what to do, but the progress has slowed down. Okay. Spiritual growth. So we are reading our Bible or joining a prayer group or Bible study group. And we know that this is helpful. We are making progress. We are learning the word of God, and it's actually making a difference in our lives. So then all of a sudden, again, something happens. Maybe we stayed late at work. So then what happened? We missed it. Okay, no problem. That's fine. 1 time, 2 times. But when it becomes a habit that, okay, now we're missing 2 months, 3 months, and not because we don't want to go, but just the motivation is not there. So the intention is there, but the discipline is not there. Okay, so those are some of the signs of inconsistent in progress. And also maybe a business. So you launch a product and this product sells really well. This business is good and people are making it and people are getting good outcome, and you started it off really well. and all of a sudden the consistency have slowed down, and then time realize we're not doing it the way we want to do it. Matter of fact, I was talking to a lady a couple of days ago that was telling me about a lady that makes some food. And when she started, the food was so good and she was getting a lot of market. But as time went on, she started changing the ingredients or started making it differently. So now the consistency have changed. So what happened? People start buying the products. Now they go somewhere else to get the same products. Why? Because there has been inconsistency. So if you go to some places like Chick-fil-A, and their consistency has been on point. Okay. You go to Disney, even the customer service is on point. So what's the difference? It's the culture and how they are trained. And you go to other places, customer service is nothing compared to what we're used to. Chick-fil-A or Disney World, right? It's because there's inconsistency on how the staff is being trained. So if you have a business, you want to launch something or you want to grow the business, you have to be consistent. The moment you start being inconsistent, that is the beginning of the downfall of that business. Okay. So when it comes to education, we want to study hard. We have an exam coming up. So everybody is busy. We're studying. We're ready for that test. Put the work into it. We do the first test. We have 95%. Great. The next test comes. Oh, I did good the last time, so I can wait till the day before the exam and I'm going to study, cramp everything. Well, now you do it. Now we have 80%. Okay. The next test, we didn't put much work into because we're busy, because we pick up an extra shift at work, because the kids are sick, and time realize we're failing the class. So that's inconsistent in progress. So we have good intention to go through school to get a degree, but we are not consistent in our study life. Okay. Sometimes we set personal goals for ourselves at the beginning of the year. And I know most of us talk about losing weight or living a healthy lifestyle. Well, that's something that we all need to work on. It's a lifetime journey, right? But there are times where we become inconsistent, when we start falling off, and then we try to get ourselves up again, and then we fall, and then we get ourselves up and we fall. At the end of the day, we're going to go back to the same position because we go up and down like seesaw or roller coaster. We go up, we come down. We will never make it to our destination. Okay. And why does all this matters? Progress requires steady effort over time. Inconsistency can break that chain. So if we stay inconsistent in progress, we're always going to see ourselves at the same spot or going backwards. Think of it like maybe, you have a plant and we can choose to water the plant every day or every other day and watch the plant grow to the beautiful flower that we want or the beautiful tree that we want. Okay. Or we can choose to water it whenever we feel like it. We can go 3 months, 4 months and not touch that tree. Okay. If it rains, the rainwater will make it fresh. And then if it doesn't rain, it dries up. What's going to happen to it? Because of the irregular care that we give to that plant, the growing will stall and it's going to die. We're not going to see the nice, beautiful plant that we all want. So if we want to see that flower or that plant to grow, then we want to make sure that we are constantly watering the plant and feeding it what it needs so it can grow to where it needs to be. Okay, so consistency is what drives everything into a good result. Okay, so why do we need to be careful about this? If God have placed a gift in your heart or God have called you to do something and we don't stay consistent, that plan is not going to come to fruition. It's like, for instance, Galatians 6:9 says, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. So giving up is one way of failing or not making it to our destination. Sometimes we give up because we're not motivated. We give up because we are tired. We give up because other people are irritating us. And if we continue to focus on the negatives, then we will never make it. We will always keep giving up on ourselves and giving up on other people. Okay, so then how do we break that effect of inconsistency? Because once we've identified that there is a problem, then we need to do something about it. And if we are all honest with ourselves, we can tell which areas of our lives that is lacking consistency. I know mine, and I'm sure you know yours. So we're all going to work on it together. Okay, all right. So how do we work around this? Okay. Let me think. So there are many ways that we can try to work around the inconsistency. But first, let's talk about how it hinders our progress in life. One, it can break the momentum. So every time you stop and you start again, you lose the rhythm that you built. You lose the momentum, and momentum is what makes hard things easier over time. Inconsistency forces you to constantly restart, which wastes time and energy. Because if you watch other people that stay consistent doing the same thing that you're doing, they'll reach their goal. So if it's going to school, let's say you're trying to get your bachelor's degree, 4 years, you should have your bachelor's degree. And you've watched people graduate, and it's been 6 years, it's been 7 years, and you're still in school. So you have to ask yourself, what is missing? What am I doing different? Or what am I doing wrong? Okay. So that's just one example. We waste time, we waste energy, and sometimes we waste money. Because each time you stay behind, you're losing money. You can't build a wave if you keep stopping the tide. So you have to stay consistent. Sometimes it can also disrupt learning and growth. Repetition builds mastery. So for us to master something, we have to repeat it over and over and over again. Because inconsistent efforts will, one, it will stop your skills from developing. It make the lesson not stick because you learn it one day, you don't go for the next 3 days, you go for next day, you miss 3 days. So think about even somebody that's learning how to sew or seamstress. How do you go through sewing school or hairdressing or mechanics, anything, if we are not consistent? You go in for 3, 5 days, and then you skip 6 weeks. When you go back, you have to start all over again. So think about the people that you're starting with. A year, 2, 3, 4 years, they are done, and you're still there. And now you're going to blame other people for your failure. But sometimes, yeah, it could be somebody else's fault, but who is the one losing? You're the one losing. And sometimes it's our own fault. We are the problem. So we need to identify that and try to see what we can do about it. Okay. Progress can remain surface level, meaning there is no quality to it. There's no authenticity or some excellence to it because we are not putting much effort into it. Okay. So think about if you're trying to learn how to play the piano, but you only practice every 2 weeks. Improvement becomes very painful and very slow. So every time you go back on the keyboard, you have to practice what you did 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago because there has been a lot of inconsistency. But if you want to learn the piano or drum or whatever you're learning, if you stay consistent, you will see yourself getting better to the next level. I know for myself, I started doing Duolingo on the phone, learning French. And it's like every day you have to do a certain amount of French. If you skip a day, you lose a streak. So I have been very consistent. So it's been about 35 days now. So I did the first 20 days. And then now I'm on a 40-day challenge. My goal is to get to 100 day challenge But the goal is to stay consistent, because once I miss a day, it takes away my streak. So I have to start all over. And I don't want that. So I wake up every morning. As soon as I finish my quiet time, I do my Duolingo. So the goal is I'm supposed to get to a certain level by, let's say, September or by December. So that's my motivation, is to be able to start speaking French. So I'm putting the work into it. Okay. So that's consistency. Okay. So the other thing that can happen too, if we're not consistent, is it can reduce results over time. Results compound with consistency, whether it's you saving money, you starting a business, improving your spiritual life, building some product, whatever you're doing. If you stay consistent, the results will compound. Inconsistency resets the compounding effect. So we're always starting from zero again. We're starting from zero. Proverbs 13, verse 11 says, whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. And not just money, but anything. When you gather it little by little, baby steps, one day at a time. If it's, a walk, you just start doing, even if it's 10 minutes walks a day. The consistency is better than doing 2 hours every month. Okay. So when you see yourself not doing things on a regular basis to see that progress, then you need to pause and ask yourself, am I being consistent, or how is the inconsistency affecting my life? Or what do I need to do about it? Okay. Sometimes too, we need to think about the environments that we're in, some of the triggers, some of the obstacles that we face. Okay. Because if we focus on the negatives or what is not going right, we'll always have a reason to stop. Okay. Because once you hinder the progress, then we can also become frustrated because we're not reaching our goal. Okay. So when progress is inconsistent, we feel stuck. Even if we're trying, we're not trying enough. Then you start to doubt your ability. You start to doubt your calling or even God's timing. But maybe we need to look into ourselves and see what we're doing wrong. We see what we're not doing right. So let's say you know how to sing and you're supposed to be in a choir, but you go for practice today, we don't go back to the next 2 months. And it's different if you have work or you're traveling or you cannot, make it there every week. But if you're staying inconsistent, then each time you go, you have to learn the songs again, you have to practice, and it keeps everybody, wondering, okay, what's going on with this sister? Or sometimes it slows other people down because then they have to help you to catch up on where everybody is. So it's not only affecting you, but now it's affecting the people around you. Okay. And sometimes it can give those emotional cycle that lead to quitting. You quit because you feel like it's not working. Sometimes it's not because it's not working, it's because you're not working it hard enough. So whenever you have to think about quitting, always think about what you are doing different. Think about what you are doing wrong that is causing the thing not to work before you quit. Because sometimes quitting is not a solution, because you quit, you start something else. If the behavior doesn't change, it's going to be the same thing. Inconsistency will create more problems even when you start something else because you haven't changed what you need to change. Okay. And when you're failing, maybe you're just not being faithful. You are not being consistent. You're not doing your part, or you're not putting in the efforts that you need to put in. It weakens discipline. Discipline is like muscles. It grows when we use it. If you don't use it, it weakens. In a medical term, they say it atrophies. You lie at the same place for weeks. When you get up, you may not be able to walk. That's how you have to go to rehab so they can help you to learn how to walk again. That's how discipline is. if you are inconsistent, it weakens your disciplined life. The more often you skip your goals, the easier it becomes to skip again. Because the last time I skipped and it was okay. So it's okay to skip again. The habit of stopping becoming stronger than the habit of showing up is what is inconsistency. Okay. It can also delay our destiny. God may have a plan for your life, but inconsistency can delay the manifestation of that plan. So if God is calling you into something and you know exactly what God is calling you to go do or how to do it, but you're inconsistent doing it, we may not be able to let that purpose come to pass. Because every purpose requires preparation. We don't just get up and say, oh, God have this calling upon my life, so I can just get up and do it anyhow. And I've always used David as an example. David was a shepherd boy, but he was consistent in what he was doing. He did not give up. He did it well. So when he became a king, he was able to continue to be a good shepherd. So if God have laid something on your heart, but you're not being consistent in making that plan or purpose come to pass, please, it's time for us to rethink about our priorities. Okay. Inconsistency can also keep you in a season longer than necessary. And I told you, if it's going to take you 4 years to get a bachelor's degree, now it's 7 years, it's 8 years because of inconsistency. It can also destroy trust in yourself and from others. Others cannot depend on you if you are not consistent. So it could be at work. Your boss is relying on you to get some work done. And each time they come back, there's an excuse. Each time they come back, there's an excuse. Okay, we can use the story of the talents, the 5, 2, and 1 talents. The one with the 1 talent, he said, Master, I know you're a hard person, so I hid the talent. Meanwhile, other people went to use that talent and make more in return. Okay, so others cannot depend on you if you're not consistent. Worse, you stop trusting yourself to follow through because now you've given yourself reasons why you're not consistent. It fades away your ability to do well, and even your confidence starts to go down. And the people around you can start to notice how inconsistent you are. And if a friend or a family member tells you, we can't even rely on you, you need to think through it. Why would somebody say they can rely on you or they can trust you? It's because you're not consistent in your dealings and making truthful statements. I'm going to do this. That means you're going to do it. And even sometimes in our marriages, we are very inconsistent. Today, we do this. Tomorrow, we don't do it. And when we are inconsistent in our marriage, it brings a lot of issues, even trust. So please, it's very, very important that we stay consistent in everything that we do, in everywhere that we find ourselves. Okay. What are some of the ways to navigate those ups and downs in our lives? Those periods where we are inconsistent and those times when we feel like, okay, we got this under control. We have to understand that progress is not a linear process. So just like healing, they're just like learning, like building something from scratch, building something from scratch. We don't want to just say, hey, we will get it done today or tomorrow, but then 1 week comes and we are not done. So we have to make time to know that it takes time. So we have to stay consistent and not give up. It's not failing. We're human and sometimes we have setback, but we always have to know that if we stay consistent, we can get to our goal. We do not have to despise the small beginnings. Because sometimes we want to do big things at one time and ignore the little ones. If we live like that, we may never get to where we need to go. Because even the Bible, Zechariah 14 says, do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. We have to begin somewhere. We have to start somewhere and then slowly watch ourselves grow. When you watch people that are successful, they did not become successful overnight. They did not just sleep and wake up and boom, they are making millions. It took time. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of discipline. So the excuses of, oh, the government is not doing this for us, this person's not doing this. It's about time we start being consistent in the little things that we can do to see progress. Okay. We need to reconnect with our why. Before we slow down in our progress, before we give up, before we quit, always revisit your core reason for starting. Why did you first of all start doing that thing? Why did you even choose to do that thing? And that should be your why. That will make you to either stay or to give up. It could be fulfillment in an establishment. It could be education. It could be your health. It could be family. But you have to write it down. Write down your why. Speak it out loud and let it refuel your motivation. I do that a lot. I write things down. Like right now, I'm in the process of writing a book. I've had two, three different books that have started. I haven't finished any of them. So now I need to go back and think about my why I want to write this book. And instead of trying to finish the book in 2 months or 3 months, I can take just one sentence every day or one page every week. Small, 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 small. One day I'll get there. It's not a race, it's not a competition. Once I get to my finish line, then I can publish it. And I'm sure you all read it. So let's always connect to our why. Let's connect to the reason behind what we're doing. So if let's say you want to start a business, so your goal is to be able to have something to do by the time you retire, or to be able to be your own boss, or to leave a legacy for your children and children's children, that's a good goal. That is your why. So don't let anything stop you from achieving that goal. Always start talking to yourself whenever the negative thoughts or excuses start coming. Ask yourself, why did I even start this? So you're a pastor of a church and things are not going well. The church is not growing. The members are not coming. You're chasing them, you're forcing them to come. But think about why. Think about the God that called you into that ministry. And once you remain consistent in your applications and in your doings, God will take care of the rest. But if you start following the members, oh, because they don't come to church, we're going to start doing church every other Sunday because people go to work and every other week they are working. Well, somebody may be weekend off this week and weekend on next week. So if you start having church service every other Sunday, it's going to be the same because it's going to be the different group that have to go to church this week. The other group have to work this week and vice versa. But think about the God that called you into it and depend on him and let him show you how to run the church or how to lead the flock. Okay. Whenever you feel like quitting, always remember why you started because that's the only way we can make it. But if you just reflect on the surface, you will not get there. Okay. Also, instead of reacting emotionally to inconsistency, ask yourself what worked in the past, what didn't work. So, for instance, this week, what went well, what didn't go well, what can I change tomorrow? Okay. What can I adjust? Because sometimes we are so fixated on one way of doing things. And if that doesn't work, that means we're not making progress. But are we open to learn new things? Are we open to read more? Are we open to talk to people that have done it and have done it well? And maybe we can learn something from them instead of just saying, oh, it's not working, or being more emotional about it. Can we stand up and say, maybe we need to change something? Maybe the process needs a little tweaking, not just quitting. Okay, maybe we need to get a journal and start writing down all the wins, the setbacks, the lessons, the failures, and then we learn from it. Because sometimes it's through our failure that we succeed. We need to set micro goals because sometimes, as I mentioned, we want to get big things done overnight. Big goals can feel overwhelming, when your progress is shaking, when we're not seeing much progress, and we want to do it big. It's easy to break down. But when we start putting everything into tiny pieces, break them into smaller portions, achievable actions, and take it one at a time, one goal at a time, one goal at a time. So, for instance, you want to lose 10 pounds. Instead of saying, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds by the end of the month, maybe start with, I need to start drinking more water. I need to start doing my 10 minutes walks every day. I need to start adding more vegetables to my meals. Okay, baby steps. Start small instead of looking at big picture of 10 pounds. It's maybe we want to build a house. Okay. Yes, we cannot wake up and build a house, 10-bedroom house overnight, unless you have the funds and you know what you're doing. But you have to put a plan down. See everything that you need to do that construction work. You start from the foundation. Maybe we can build a 1-bedroom first, and then we add a 2nd bedroom, a 3rd bedroom. But I've seen a lot of buildings that have been incomplete. Why? Because somebody started, the energy was there, the momentum was there, the motivation was there, and all of a sudden something changed or something happened and they never made it. But if we're able to start small and finish one thing and then take the next thing, finish it, take the next one and finish it, we will get to that goal quicker than trying to make it big at one time. Motivation can fluctuate, but we have to stay consistent because systems are better to sustain or more sustainable than just going with our emotions. We have to create routines. We have to automate our good habits. We have to eliminate unnecessary decisions. And sometimes we have to avoid some people that are impeding our progress in life. Okay. Sometimes we need to be realistic with ourselves. What habits are working? What habits are not working? What can we change? What can we put on the side? Because we have a goal to accomplish. Okay. The last one I want to say is we have to lean on grace, not on guilt. Sometimes some of us, we are so quick to judge ourselves. Self-condemnation, it kills progress. Grace empowers it. Remember, even the inconsistency that we experience, God is still working through you. God is still using you for something. So we have to lean on His grace because it's the grace of God that will help us to get to where we need to get to. When we put grace and work together, we can accomplish things. But if we want to just focus on our own power, sometimes or almost all the time, it gets harder. It leads more into inconsistency because the grace of God is sufficient for us and His power is made perfect even in our weaknesses. So we can always rely on the grace of God. And then we have to keep showing up no matter what. Keep showing up. The secret to overcoming inconsistency is very simple. Don't stop. Don't quit. If you fall, you get up again. If you are tired, rest and then you continue. even crawling forward is better than quitting. Because when you crawl like a turtle, no matter where your destination is, you make it there. But if you quit, you will never get there. Consistency isn't perfection, it's persistence. Once you stay persistent in what you're doing, you will get there. So you have to tell yourself that no matter what it's going to take, other people have walked this journey, other people have done this, so I can also do it. Don't give up. Always give yourself some grace and stay committed. You need to show up every day. Wake up every day and tell yourself, today's another day, today's a brand new day. This is what I'm going to do. Don't wait till the end of the day to figure out what your goals are for that day. Think about it even the night before. Think about what you need to do tomorrow. And if you are very inconsistent in anything that you're doing, I'm telling you, it's never too late. Because inconsistency is not a life sentence. You can reverse it starting today with a decision to show up, a decision to stay committed, and a decision to give yourself grace and keep going till you reach your goal, till your plans becomes a reality or your dreams comes true. So today I want you to ask yourself, what one thing am I being inconsistent with? I'm just going to give you a few seconds to think about it. What are you doing that you're not consistent with? And also, what one small step can you take today to rebuild consistency? Because consistency requires steps. It's a journey that requires you to start with the small steps, baby step, one step at a time. In conclusion, I would say inconsistency in progress is one of the greatest barriers to achieving our goals and fulfilling our purpose. And we are all victims of it in different areas, in different levels, and on different capacity. Because sometimes we think it's laziness. We watch our children become inconsistent in different things, but it's not always about laziness or lack of the ability. Sometimes it's distractions, it's fear, it's untrained discipline. So we always have to take time out of our busy schedules, sit down and think through the things that we do. Like me coming here to talk today, I have to really get up and do it. I'm tired, I have a lot going on, but I have to be consistent. Because I tell myself, if I'm not consistent, the people that are relying on me, the people that are dependent on me, they will show up and I will not be there. So that's the motivation. That's the reason why I get up and prepare and come and share with my listeners. So what are you doing that you need to stay consistent? So I challenge all of you today, whoever is listening to the sound of my voice, please, whatever you're doing that is inconsistent in your life, it's about time to get up and change the inconsistency into consistency. Okay, remember, small, consistent action done daily create extraordinary results over time. We're not getting quick results. We're not doing overnights. Results. We're not microwaving things here. We're doing slow cook. We're doing crock pots, taking our time, but we're staying on track. We're staying consistent. When you choose to stay committed, even one days when you don't feel like doing it, you build the momentum, resilience, and trust in yourself that tomorrow we're going to continue. Most importantly, I want you to align yourself with the principle of faithfulness that honors God. Because when consistent, you're faithful. Even in little things, people are watching you, people are observing you. And God, above all, is watching you too. So stay consistent in whatever you're supposed to be doing. Do it. So when it's all said and done, you'll be finding yourself at the right places. Try to be a good and faithful servant. Okay? Don't wait for a perfect moment. Start showing up with even in your imperfect level or the consistency that you don't even value. Just start from somewhere and just watch your life get transformed from one level to another. If you're here, you're struggling with inconsistency and you don't know what to do, talk to people. Find people that know how to help you. I know most of you call me sometimes if you need help or you text me. I'm here to help you. I'm here to support. And even if I cannot, I can brainstorm with you to see who can help you or how we can get the help that you need. But there's always help because no progress doesn't end anywhere. But even the little steps that we take can make a huge progress in our life. And I thank you all for listening, even as we dive into how to break the habit of inconsistency in progress. And we have a few more minutes. So if anybody have any questions or any contribution, this is a good time to unmute yourself and say something or ask your question. Okay. So I guess there are no questions. Let me see if there's anything in the chat. There's nothing in the chat. Okay. So this is the conclusion of our episode today on how to work through inconsistency in progress. And I pray that as we hear this message, the Lord is going to help us so we will not be hearers only, but also doers of thy word. If you missed this episode, or if you want to listen to it again, or if you want to share it with other people, please go to the YouTube, Dr. Eugenia CATERNOR. You can also go to my website, dreugeniacaternour.net. And also you can watch it later when we send it out to everyone. And I thank you all for joining us. I thank you all for listening. And I pray that you enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll come back with more episodes in the next few weeks. Thank you all and goodbye.